Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and for today's video we are going to talk about recycling cards. I don't know about most of you all, but for the most part when we receive these cards, these generic cards, we just usually keep them for a couple days, maybe a month or so, and then we eventually end up tossing them out. And I think it's such a waste because these cards, number one, their card stock are fairly high quality, and also the designs is already there. All you have to do is repurpose these cards. So with this one that you see here, I mean, it has been sitting there for about a year or so. So now I'm going to go ahead and repurpose them and give them a new life and possibly send them to someone else to give new happiness, right? So just to give you guys some ideas of what you can do, what I did here was basically just to cut out the face of the card and then use a circular die and just cut out the sentiments. For cards that has a nice pattern but nothing else on them, I like to cut them into symmetrical shapes like so, and then rearrange them on the card and give it a brand new look. Other cards with sentiments like this, again, I like to use my die cuts and cut out the sentiment itself and then rearrange them with the image that came with the card. So in this case, we have a round reef and we have a sentiment underneath. So what I'm going to do here is cut out the reef and then just resize it so it looks symmetrical. And then I'll take that sentiment that I've just die cut out of it, and then I'll just rearrange it on the card like so. See, brand new card, looking good, right? All right, and on to the next one. Same deal. I like to make my cards smaller. So a lot of these regular Hallmark cards, they're fairly big. So I like to resize them and make them a tad bit smaller. And if I haven't told you already, I am absolutely in love with this cutter. It is a self-sharpening cutter, and it's so durable, and it's heavyweight enough that it will hold down whatever you need it to cut, and it won't move all over the place. It won't shake during the middle of the cut, but it's sharp enough that it keeps cutting over and over again. So I am absolutely in love with this cutter. I'll have the cutter link below if you would like to get the same one, and I totally highly recommend this cutter. Anyways, back to our card making session here. So this card here has this like beautiful butterfly kind of like embossed image. So I just went in with my scissor and just cut out the image. You know, when you do this kind of work, it makes you appreciate your die cuts so much more because it's such an easy process when you use your die cuts. So yes, cutting this was quite tedious, but you know what, at the end when I saw the final product, it was totally worth it. You know, sometimes people ask me why I enjoy these kind of tedious work when I can just go to Walmart or Hallmark and buy just a card. I think the joy of making the card is all about putting your feelings and the touch of love to it, so that when the other person receives it, I always feel like a handmade card is always extra special. So if you can remember here, these flower sentiments, they were from my Dollar Tree haul video that I've made previously. And as you can see, it's a gift that give on giving. It's so beautiful. I think I must have used it on all of my cards because the coloration and also the pattern and the color combination just goes so well with all the cards that I have. So here I am bringing in some stamp color. Again, if you wanted the same stamp set, I have it linked in my description. But these stamp sets, they're so nice. They blend like a dream, and also they work great on my Tom Holt glass mat because I don't have to waste ink, you know, and it's so easy to clean up, as you can see there. So once I went in and I blended it and I made it look more customized, I found like it missed a little bit of sparkle and pizzazz. You know me, I love me some sparkle and pizzazz, so I went in with some rhinestone. Of course, with my wax pencil, can't live without, I can't live without my wax pencil because picking up these stones would have been super tedious. So there you have it. That is the base for just one of the card. So once you have your base, you basically, tape it onto your normal cardstock, your cardstock that's folded in half. And then again, using my amazing trimmer to trim the card to size. I just love that thing. I can't say how much I love it. I love it. And there you have it. That's the next card. I put some foam tape on top of it. And this is the L-shaped ruler that I've recently purchased from Amazon, trying to resolve my issue with alignment. And I really thought this thing was really my answer to all problems, but as you can see later on, it is not the answer to my problem. I still put stuff on super crooked. So yeah, onwards to finding a different solution. Again, I find myself reaching for the Dollar Tree flowers. They're just so beautiful and they look so gorgeous on this specific card. I follow the same step over and over again with the base. This is the reason why I don't show it on every video. You pretty much just put tape in the back of your base and then you tape it down onto your folded cardstock and then you trim it to size, and that's all there is to it to turn your base into a card. All right, on to the next project. So this is the symmetrical piece that I cut earlier. I basically take it out and I use glue to tape it. You can easily use tape. However, knowing my history with alignment, I opted for the glue instead. So at least I can move the image around a bit. You'll notice there that I have a giant gap in between those two small cards. That was bugging me for a little bit, but I realized that I was gonna do sentiments and other things on top of it. So I'm not concerned about that gap. I'm just gonna cover it up anyways. And here I am pulling in those beautiful butterflies that I cut off earlier. I found that the blue and pink kind of match with this background that I have. So then I went in with some foam tape and just glue it down so the wings are still raised. So it looks like the butterflies are flying on the card. I thought this was such a cute butterfly-y flower card, so I decided to make it a mom card, which I find super duper cute. I hope you guys like this idea as well. And there you have it. If you miss it the first two times, this is the third time. Pretty much tape on the back of your base and then on your cardstock and then trim. It's the same process. And this is why, again, I don't show this on every single video because it becomes tedious and very boring for you to see, right? And then there's this thank you card. You know, we get this a lot, right? Either it be a wedding, after a wedding, someone sends us a thank you card. We can use this technique to kind of repurpose the card. So again, I went in with some ink and I blended it in the corner to give it more of a custom touch. I felt the background was a little flat, so I went in with my Wink of Stella dupe and colored in to give it a little bit of sparkles. So if you guys want to learn how to make this dupe, refer back to one of my old videos. It's called the Wink of Stella dupe. I put some weight on it because again, it's made out of water, so it kind of curved your paper. And so I didn't like that little thank you sentiment, so I decided to go in with my own sentiment here. So I put a hello sentiment on, and then I put another a sentiment at the bottom of it. And this sentiment is from my printer. I printed this sentiment out and I just cut it out. So if you want to learn how to do that, refer to my previous video on how to print out sentiments and not have to use stamps. Again, gluing my base down and then trim to size. Again, that big flower you see there, that's from the dollar store die cut that I found from my Dollar Tree haul. And there you have it, brand new card. You wouldn't even think it was from the same old card, right? And then remember this card that was really big from the beginning. I'm not a big fan of the huge card, so I went in and then trimmed it to size to make it smaller. It had a really cute ribbon detail to it, and so I put some glue on it just to hold it down. And guys, it depends on, you know, your card and what you have on that card. You can do a bunch of things, but this card was already very busy, so I kept it very simple. I kept it as is, and I just added a nice little sentiment to it. And then again, this is one of those sentiment that I printed out on the computer and I cut out. Again, we're going to take this base and then we're going to put double-sided tape in the back of it and then put it onto our folded cardstock to complete the card itself. As always, once you tape it, you trim it to size and it's looking perfect. Remember that sentiment that we cut out earlier from the same card? Well, I took the same sentiment and put it on the inside of the card. Again, with my life struggles, remember I told you in the beginning, I thought this ruler was the answer to my problems. No, it's not. My sentiment is still crooked as ever. So back to eyeballing I go. And there you have it. That is pretty much the last card that I'm going to be recycling for this video. Which one of these cards are your favorite? Comment down below and let me know of your thoughts. And have you been recycling cards? This is something that I started recently and I am absolutely in love with what I've been doing because I've always been so torn with throwing away cards or deciding which card to keep. So now I keep them all and I just use them in my new projects. And if I don't know what to do with them at that moment, I keep them in a box and I store them. And each time I need inspiration, I would open the box and go through it. And sometimes, with special messages in some of these cards, you can kind of walk down memory lane and kind of see the special thoughts that your significant other or whoever sent you the card said specifically to you. So not only is it a great way to rehash old memories, but also it's a great way to build new ones by creating something new and sending it to your loved ones. And as always, thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoy my content, make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe button for future content. Have a good one. Bye.